What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Man, you funny. I'm ready to go, man. I was up. You know, old men get up. Jabs are stiff. You know, old men get up early now. What you talking about? There's the rest of these old cats that got to get up on here, man. Oh, it's Blood. Early to the show. What's good, Blood?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
Blood.
Yo.
All right, I can hear you now. Cool. What's good, man? Kqkc got everybody on time this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we is.
All right. So, hey, Musa K. Yeah, it's Musa K. Just so people know who Musa K is, that's YB, the last LDBC Slayer. Musa K, we know who you are, man. Use your real name. But give me a call, man. We'll talk. We'll talk. I saw your emails and all that stuff. Jabs are stiff. What's good, man? Maurice McElroy. What's good? Junior the Truth. Marlon So Icy Sims. Mr. Mont, man. It's a special talk about special appearances. What's going on? The Architect One, Shadow 979, Junior the Truth. What's good? St. Cruising. Harold Jones, Robert Walker, Donald Grant. I got you, Musa. No. Hey, I saw your email, man. Ain't no need to do it here. Just I'm gonna email you back. Emmanuel Joseph Bain, what's good? Jay Good, what's going on, man? The fight fan LC, player. What is this? BGH Big Dog, what's good? Salute to the OGs, yes, sir. Musa K, you've already sent me your email, dog. I'm about to put you on timeout, dog. Okay. If you say one more thing, Musa K, I'm gonna throw you out. Okay. You already sent me an email. You have my email. I have an email in the box from you. I don't understand I don't understand you kids, man. I told you. I'll call you. Now, if you ask me again, I'm gonna throw you out. Okay? Yes, sir. What's going on, Chase Money? All right, so let's get to say what's up to everybody in the chat. I know, that's what I'm saying. I can't chastise little kids. He's a little kid. So just, send me your email. I got your email. The next thing I'm gonna say is send me a note from your dad that will allow me to talk to you. Because I don't talk to kids, man, unless I know their dad knows that I'm talking to them. But you do need somebody to talk to you about this foolishness. All right. Let's go to Blood first. Blood, how you feeling this week, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling really good, man. It's been a great week in boxing. For the heavyweights and all of that, still talking about this Andy Ruiz upset. And, that's the only part that's been good for me because these small guys, they all don't want to fight each other in these smaller weight classes. I'm getting more uninterested by the day at all these title holders. So I'm glad that the heavyweight division is stepping up so I can enjoy some boxing again. And I'll stick to the heavyweights because I'm not going to watch. I watched the Golovkin fight last night. I know you might get into that soon. But I'm just getting tired of these smaller weight classes with all these belts, man.
No doubt about it. You know what? Hey, Drew Titan, you got to give me your email because it's not coming up on my invite thing. Because we're gonna let Drew Titan into the OG boxing chat this morning. You gotta send me your email. Hey, so Kqkc, man, what do you the fuck is wrong, man? All right. Okay, we got bruised AJ fans out in this mug. All right, man. Please keep all the men loving comments to yourself. Kqkc, man, let me know what you thought about last week before we get into the first topic.
Well, last week, I went through this with my chat, and afterwards I will too, when we through. But I didn't like it. I like the story of the Mexican fighter come back. Anything can happen in boxing. Keep telling everyone that you only one punch away from changing the fight. That's how the heavyweights used to do it. trade back and forth, and I'm very excited about the heavyweight division. It's heating up. Always, like they always say, once the heavyweight division go, so do boxing. So now the heavyweight division is heating up, and I like it. They outspoken. They doing their thing. That's what I feel. Yes, sir. That's it.
All right. Hey, I meant to hide Musa K. I said one more word, Musa K, you getting blocked. I meant somebody re-hide him because somebody must have kicked him out the same time I did. Mm-hmm. So if you see Musa K again, if he says another word, throw him out, dog. I'm very serious about you, man. No, man. When I said I wanted to talk to you, man, it's because I thought you might be, like ready to jump off something. All right. I'm not trying to have conversations with you, man. Like I said, I don't talk to children when their parents aren't in the room. Okay. So you can sit down in the corner, listen to the rest of the conversation. But I don't talk to kids. I don't talk to kids when their parents aren't around. All right. So look, man, here's my thing, man. It was a great week. I got to rub it in all their faces. Just rubbing it in their faces, dog. I don't think I talked about any subject this week on my channel, but AJ falling flat on his face. Not literally, because he fell to a knee and kind of crumpled over and then got back up and then got knocked down again and kind of crumpled over and got up again. Couldn't remember nothing that happened. Then got knocked down again. Then got knocked down again. Then got up and quit. He said, "You ain't knocking me down again." Yeah, dog. That was fun. And Andy Ruiz, I'll spark your mom. What? Hey, guys, look, man, that's good. Oh, yeah, dog. Yeah, come on. No, let him say it. Let him vent. Let him vent. Because I know, dude, being wrong for so long. What'd you used to call him? What'd you call AJ Blood? Were you the original one that called him a big dumb robot? I think Blood might have been the first one I heard calling him a big dumb robot.
Yeah, look, man, probably because I got that off of Frank Bruno. It just carried over from his father, Frank Bruno. Well, Frank Bruno is more his uncle because his father's father, but Bruno is related to him though. He's definitely related to AJ. But yeah, man, these fans. It's been funny. What I've been having a lot of fun this week doing is listening to all the extreme AJ fans who have YouTube pages. These guys, man, I mean, they've went against their word. They're making up lies now. Now they're wanting to make it sound as though they knew this was coming. And this has been funny, man. It's been a great week. Entertaining, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man. I actually went to that page that I ain't listened to since in like a couple years. The one that you shout out yesterday. We have to have at least what's between PG-13 and rated R? Just, I need a borderline PG-13 rated R chat today because I'm pretty sure one of my nephews is watching, so I got to act right. But man, I listened to that fool lie. You just made a video saying how Deontay Wilder fans were so desperate for Deontay Wilder not to get into the ring with AJ, and you knew how all these fanboys, how fanboys think, and you've been on this thing for 10 years, and you've been acting like a fanboy. If you know what a fanboy thinks like, dog, why you been acting like a fanboy? There ain't see, for me, it's my definition. I asked Kqkc what his definition of a fanboy is. A fanboy to me is somebody that is absolutely positively will move any fact to fit their argument. Even when it is blatantly honest. I mean, obvious. You will just manipulate any fact to the point. And I don't know, though. Is he a fan? Or are those channels fanboys? Are they just recruiting fanboys? Because as I think about it, they probably know better, but they just want those fanboys on their channel. So they will say all the type of things to attract fanboys. Huh. It's interesting. I need to come up with what is a What could be a phrase for a channel that know they lying, don't care that they're lying, and really just wants to? Are they prostitutes? Maybe a prostitute. Maybe you just like a prostitute. You like a hoe that just sells your self-respect, sells your channel to people just so you can get their little views and you can get them to say they like you. And you never, and those unbiased, the unbiased guys, the guys that never see when you get to ride that fence, like when you ride that fence, like I insulted, I insulted AJ once or twice, and I insult Deontay Wilder every other breath. And now AJ gets knocked out. I can hinge everything on the one or two things that I said that were funny about AJ. Fuck out of here, man. You guys are hoes, prostituting yourself, man. You know dang well that boy didn't want that fight. You know dang well that $50 million offer was out there for that dude. You know he said, give me $50 million, I'll fight you tomorrow. You know dang well he didn't take it. You know dang on well that they offered him a flat fee. And if you know fanboys that well, you know doggone well that a flat fee in a pay-per-view event like that is not the standard offer. That it is you split the percentage-based offer. And then when he went to a flat fee, that he had no intention on making that fight. And when he went to a $15 million flat fee, the guy still didn't have any intention to make the fight because as soon as Deontay Wilder accepted, he skipped on out. But you want to forget that is really the significance of AJ getting knocked out by, what's his name? By Fluffy. And I like Andy Ruiz a lot. I respect him, but I'm going to call him Fluffy. But Fluffy is more of an insult to AJ getting knocked out by Fluffy. Because you know daggone well that if he's getting knocked out in sparring partners by some guy named Kqkc, and he's getting knocked out in practice in sparring by these other guys that you knew dang well, and his trainers knew daggone well, and he knew daggone well that he wasn't going to take that shot from Deontay Wilder. You know he can't take no shot from Deontay Wilder. You know that, but you won't tell the truth. You would just rather insult Deontay Wilder with some crappy ass subjective arguments. This guy is 40-0 with one draw. 41-0-1 with one draw. He's knocked down and hurt everybody he's ever fought. And AJ got a fucking plaster. He got a doggone paper mache chin. And you acting like the dude with the hammer doesn't want to get to that chin? Y'all are lying. You've been lying. And everybody that knows boxing, and by me know boxing, I don't mean you got to be a trainer to know boxing. You don't have to be. See, that's one of these other little myths. And I'm going to move up in a second. You don't have to be a boxer to be able to predict a fight or a trainer to be able to pick a fight. Because if that was the case, those boxers and trainers would give up their day jobs and go live permanently in Vegas and bet on those fights. They're wrong all the time. They get it wrong all the time. Just because you are all in the details and you know every leaf on the tree, that doesn't mean that other people can't see the forest. I don't have to be Emmanuel Stewart to know that AJ got a glass chin. He got a glass chin. You know he got a glass chin. Everybody know he got a glass chin. And you know that Deontay Wilder can punch. That if it lands, and what did he get hit with? What did AJ get hit with? That he's saying, well, he got hit on the top of the head. Well, Deontay Wilder hits people on the top of the head all the damn time. That's that right on the top of your head. But you think that AJ was going to beat that? You never thought he was going to win that fight. People were begging for Deontay Wilder. The only thing people didn't want out of Deontay Wilder was for Eddie Hearn. Massa Hearn. For Massa Hearn to sign him. Because that's what Massa Hearn really wanted. Massa Hearn wanted to sign Deontay Wilder. He wanted a multi-fight deal with Deontay Wilder so he can have what Al Heyman has, all the belts. All the belts. That temple shot, yeah, man, he hit that dude, man. Deontay Wilder hits on top of the head all the time, man. All the time. But, hey, Blood, so what do you think is next for the heavyweight division, man? What do you want to see happen?
What I would like to see happen is unification. I mean, if they're going to go ahead and do this rematch, let's go ahead and get that out the way. Me personally, I would prefer to see AJ take a break. I think AJ needs more than a year off. I think he needs 2 years off, in my opinion. I think he needs to rebuild his team. He needs to come to America. He needs to look for a new trainer. He needs to work on his defense some. He needs to work on his jab. I'm not really sure who the right trainer is for him, but the guys he's with now, it's not working out. The problem is that this man is getting killed in sparring. If you listen to AJ talk in these interviews, you will notice that AJ has never had a whole lot of confidence. He's always said that I don't want to be a legend. And, you know, he's always talked like that because he knows that he's been getting KO'd in sparring. Who knows how many times this guy got dropped in sparring? They usually don't like to talk about it. What happens in sparring remains in camp. But it's leaked out there that this guy's getting KO'd. I don't know if he had headgear on, bigger gloves. But if you're out there sparring and you're getting knocked out in sparring matches, then apparently you don't have a very good chin. I know several fighters that took breaks. Several of them. I think even his boy Bruno, even his uncle Frank Bruno took a break somewhere in the 1990s before he got that strap off of Oliver McCall. Okay, everyone takes a break off here and there when you're getting your ass whooped and you're getting knocked out. Right now, Anthony Joshua is still marketable, okay? If he takes 2 or 3 years off, let them establish a heavyweight, undisputed heavyweight champion, he'll be marketable for the comeback. But if he takes 2 losses in a row, then he won't no longer be marketable for a comeback. People are not going to be talking about this guy, man, after he takes that next loss. So I would like to see unification happen while AJ works out whatever his problems are mentally. Him forgetting around, that's not a problem because several fighters have gotten beat and forgot what happened in the fight. I've heard that several times. Mike Tyson said he couldn't remember pretty much the whole fight. I think it was the first fight with Evander Holyfield. He couldn't remember damn near the whole fight, but 1 or 2 rounds, okay? So this is common for fighters to forget what happened in the ring. That's not a big deal. The problem is that the guy's not mentally stable. He's letting some guy just run his career, some promoter, run him down in the ground. If he was smart, he'd be trying to get out of that contract with Eddie Hearn so he could rebuild. If he's going to stay with Eddie Hearn, then he still needs to rebuild. Eddie Hearn can't force him back in the ring. It's not his job to save matchroom boxing. I could tell you what I think is going to happen. I think that he's going to get beat again by Ruiz. And then at that point, Eddie Hearn is going to try to push these mandatories. You got Dillian White ranked #1 in 2 of the sanctioning bodies, okay? So Eddie Hearn is going to try to start pushing for mandatories and all kind of stuff. Deontay Wilder will never dance to Eddie Hearn's tune. So what might end up happening is we might end up seeing one of the belts go off on the side. But the best thing to happen would be unification. Any way we could get the unification first. If I was Deontay Wilder, I'll go ahead and finish up that fight with Ortiz and then make himself available for unification after that, man. The division, it's in a good place. I could tell you that because by AJ losing and Eddie Hearn losing control of the division and all of this money talk out the window, because I've noticed, another thing I noticed all week is that there's been no talk about A sides, B sides, who's more popular. And that's why I'm able to come back into boxing talk. If the environment remains like this, I'll be back on my channel talking boxing again.
Drew Titan, I just sent you the invite. Drew is 43 years old too. So, and Callie is 41. I could have sworn Callie said he was Callie Enigma. If you listening, man, I could have sworn you said you were 39 when we did our first OG boxing talk. Could have sworn. Then I heard that you were 41, man. You should have been on the show. We just don't let young boys on here, man, because you young boys act too cocky. Got to put you out of here. Real quick, man, let me get to the comment section before I go back to my man Kqkc Boxing. By the way, everybody, hey, you know how you do them claps? I'm gonna steal something from Boxing Ego. You know how you do them little claps, like the hand claps, the emojis? Let's all get hand claps for my man Kqkc Boxing. He got his 1,000 subscribers. He's now able to be a YouTube partner. and get that dough for his good work, man. So everybody get a round of applause, man. Kqkc Boxing has had tremendous growth in his first year. It takes some people a lot of time to get over to 1,000 subs, but Kqkc been grinding on a daily basis on his channel. So please everybody, congratulate my brother and my friend for his 1,000 subscribers that he got the other day. All right, so thank you. Yeah, prayers up, all that good old stuff. Oh, and also, man, sad thing happened last night. I understand. I didn't that Kqkc Selden put. I guess he knocked out Zab Judah, and Zab Judah's in the hospital with bleeding on the brain. That's what I just saw the title of Barbershop Conversation. So, man, just put a prayer out there for the family and for Zab Judah. Seems like he's always been a pretty decent guy. That's just a shame, especially when you get in there with a dude like Kqkc Selden. I've been saying Kqkc Selden's a juicer. That dude right there, man, he got busted one time for testosterone. You just look at how that guy looks, man. And see, I'm this testing in this drug testing in boxing is, man, people threw throw these gigantic fits when Deontay Wilder says, that he wants to catch a body in the ring, but are willing to pass up and give guys that literally are on performance enhancing drugs that could result in the death of other people. These guys pop dirty, and they're gonna be right back in the ring. Watch the Big Baby Miller gonna be back next year. Big Baby Miller gonna be back in the fight next year after having tested positive for everything. He was on fucking Spider-Man serum, that crap that gave Spider-Man his superpowers. He got that shit in his system. He had man. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. And that's how I felt about Kqkc Selden, man, because Kqkc Selden, he got popped dirty one time. They let him fight again, and he lost. He lost to that Canadian kid. I want to say I know it's not Yvonne Mendes. That for some reason that name is coming to my head, but it was one of those guys that are out there in Canada on the undercard of one of those Adonis Stevenson fights. That the guy just out-slicked him. He just couldn't land the glove on him. But, man, you go look at Kqkc Selden, man, the Hebrew Hammer. Man, that dude's so freaking doped up. It's incredible. Let me get to these chats real quick. We just got one super chat that I missed. My man, Toot Robinson, thank you very much for the support in the channel, man. It's much, much appreciated. Ron Fingal say, nut huggers for views, channels, I call them for nine. Yeah, dude, it's for real. One of the things, man, about cats and what we're doing, and I think AJ been dropped once before. That's not a glass chin. No, B-mode. He's not been dropped once before. He's been dropped twice before in professional fights. He got dropped by Dillian White. He got dropped in a fight by Vladimir Klitschko. And then he just got dropped 4 times against Andy Ruiz. So that's 6 times he's gotten dropped. He got wobbled by a shot. He got wobbled by Joseph Parker to a shot to his upper chest. No, dude. The dude's got chin problems, and we said it. Now, here's the thing: when you got guys make these type of arguments, and when it's time to be quiet. Sometimes it's time to be quiet when people get things right. When somebody gets something right, it's time to be quiet. We said before this fight that he had a shaky chin. We said it. And we said, why do I think he has a shaky chin? Because he's been knocked down by Vladimir Klitschko, because he got knocked down by Dillian White, because he got knocked out in the amateurs, because there's rampant rumors of him getting knocked out in sparring. And everybody was making that up. And then he gets in the ring with Andy Ruiz, who I do not believe is a knockout puncher. That's something you got to understand. Andy Ruiz has like 30 fights and 20 knockouts. He's not knocking everybody out. He's not some big power puncher. He's a small, stocky dude. A short, stocky dude who's got good, fast hands and can hurt you, but he's got fast hands. This dude has not got monstrous power. That's what Bob Arum said. Bob Arum was like, man, what's wrong with Andy Ruiz, man? What's wrong with Anthony Joshua? He got hurt. He got knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz ain't no big power puncher. Andy Ruiz will get you by accumulation. This dude's dropping and shaking Anthony Joshua with everything he lands. Get up out of here, man. He got knocked out by a non-power puncher. But sometimes, man, that's when I'm saying it's time to be quiet. If you like, I gotta say, man, if you were wrong about somebody, if I was wrong about a fighter, then I'd be like, God, dog, I'm a Keith Thurman fan. And people were all on Keith Thurman about ducking and not taking a fight, ducking, not taking a fight, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, man, he's really injured. He's really injured. Keith Thurman should be on the pound for pound list. I was making all those arguments about Keith Thurman. But then Keith Thurman kept doing it. And he kept saying stuff. And he kept acting like he didn't want Errol Spence. So I had to be like, what can I say? You're right. But some of you guys don't have the ability to ever tell somebody that you are right, I was wrong. In this case, with Anthony Joshua being one of the best fighters ever, right? Because remember, just 3 weeks ago, I was having conversations with you guys about how Muhammad Ali was too small for him. That's what you have. Muhammad Ali's too small for him. Well, how do you think he doing Muhammad Ali now? He get a whoop pillar to post. That shit wouldn't even be a close fight. That would be command, get out of here. He get murdered because he's not that good. He's not a bum. He's just not that good. Let me move on to Kqkc. Get your thoughts on, man, what's next in heavyweight division? And after that, man, we're going to go to introduce Drew Titan. What's good, Drew?
Family. What's good, brothers? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you for having me on, Fanon. Shout out to Blood and the LDBC's favorite uncle, Kqkc. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Drew?
Good to be able to hang out with you again, my bro. Hey, Fanon, this brother right here used to hang around with Mitch Blood Green, bro.
Yeah, he told me he got a Mitch Blood Green story for me. I can't wait to hear it. Hey, but Kqkc, let Kqkc chop on, and we're gonna come right back to you, Drew. I just didn't want you to hang too long before we got to introduce everybody to you.
Okay. Well, the heavyweight division is in a good place right now. Like I said, it's a good place. And Anthony Joshua, right now, don't be thinking about a rematch. Right now, he had to get his head together. Now he's still here. He was out playing basketball, they said, with fans, and all he's thinking about is a rematch, and a rematch here in the U.S. But like you said, Andy Ruiz is not a knockout puncher. So what that tells you that he had problems before then. I really believe that. I really believe he was sparring in his last week. No fighter spars in their last week before the fight. You weigh in that Friday, you sitting there sparring 3 days before then? No contact. Stay limber. Maybe take a jog, but don't sit there and contact. I don't know, he got hit in the head or what. But now I kind of got an idea. I ain't pieced it together yet, but I don't blame Mr. Joshua. I would have launched at Eddie Hearn too with that clip-on bow tie. Shit. He never
hair plugs. And hair plugs. And hair, hey, dude, just real quick. Oh no, I'll tell you in a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kqkc. I'm breaking my own rule. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. But still, and Anthony Joshua, he's a nice fighter. He's fine. And no disrespect. All right, but he's too naive. He's not from here, because we know when somebody playing us. We know when someone lying to us. And he know that Eddie Hearn is everything is too good to be true. And they knew that Deontay Wilder would have beat Anthony Joshua in any good day and on his best day. Think about this. If that was Deontay Wilder Saturday and not Andy Ruiz, would he be in the hospital? Would he be in intensive care? Because Deontay Wilder, when he gets in that ring, climb over that rope, he's for business. And that's what I like about the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division, you never know what's going to happen. Don't turn your face. Don't turn your eyes. You better keep your eyes on that TV, because anything can change a fight. One punch. All right. That's
Drew,
it.
Okay, before I go to Drew, man, last night, dude, it was hilarious. I was in because as you see this, I'm in a hotel room. My nephew, my wife's nephew is graduating from high school in Dallas. So I'm watching that fight on the zone, and I like my wife and daughter looked over and looked at it. She's like, "What?" And Eddie Hearn knows the video was up. He's like, man, those some terrible hair plugs. I said, what? He's like, oh, those are hair plugs. Like all that shit up in the front. Dude, Eddie Hearn so phony, he bald and won't even go bald with dignity. God dog, man. You a member of the bald crew and you won't just go bald? Man, get rid of them damn hair plugs, man. I was like, are you sure those hair plugs? My daughter was like, those are hair plugs. Look at the color of his hair by his ear. Look at his eyebrows and look at the hair in the front of his head. Either he's dyeing his hair or that shit is hair plugs. And then my sister-in-law, who's a nurse, looked at it. He was like, no, those are hair plugs. That shit ain't natural. Eddie, fake as shit, boy. Let me get this before I pass on to Drew Titan, man. Ask him this question. Let me get to the super chat that I missed, which is up here. Jay Good said AJ has zero confidence. Anytime he gets knocked down, he's smiling. Embarrassed / lack of confidence. Hashtag they duped their followers. Yeah, man, they tried to run to the bank, man. Did you hear? Oh, my goodness gracious, man. You should have seen how Eddie Hearn was on that witness stand on the zone, dog. That shit was hilarious. But go ahead, Drew. Chop on that, man. What do you think's next for the heavyweight division?
Well, what I want is I want unification, but I didn't hear all of the Eddie Hearn interview, but it sounded like the from the parts I did hear it, it sounds like that he's looking for Ruiz to get stripped, and he wants those belts divided as much as possible because it benefits him, and that's a sad state of affairs, man. And that further proves what we've been saying for the past 2.5 years. This man does not want unification at all because it benefits him, and that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. We've been saying that, Deontay, he's always been saying one face, one name, and he's about that life. These guys, they're about division. They don't want unification. Look, 2 years. They've been telling us Deontay Wilder's easy work. I remember AJ saying, I'll spark him in 4 rounds. If he's easy work and he'll spark the man in 4 rounds, 2016, he could have took that belt off of him. I mean, seriously, we've heard every excuse in the world for him not to come get that belt. If Deontay Wilder was the easiest work out of Charles Martin, out of Joseph Parker, who ducked Deontay Wilder, and the justification for that was seat sales. No one knows him. He can't sell out Alabama. All right, so you know what? Get the light work out the way. Get the light work out the way. Go get the WBC strap. Okay, this is a man that's had that strap. And for those that don't know and have not done their homework, shout out to BFTB Boxing. He pointed this out. Vladimir Klitschko was all about that WBC title when his brother retired. He was really trying to push to get the hold of Bermane Stavern. And soon as Stavern lost it, all of a sudden he didn't care to get the title anymore. And people like throwing up, Shelly Finkel said that Deontay Wilder's a baby. Let me explain something to you. That's a lot different from what Wilder was saying. What a promoter or a manager says is a lot different from what a fighter says. Case in point, Eddie Hearn wants the rematch in the UK. AJ wants it in America. And right now they're knocking heads. So what AJ wants to do and what Hearn wants to do, 2 totally different things. So back then, you had Shelly Finkel saying Deontay Wilder's a baby. Wilder saying, no. I could beat this guy. I sparred this guy. I see something. It's documented. He said that. So people, please stop using that bullshit. I don't want to hear it. Okay? So if Wilder was easy work, he would have came and got that strap. Hearn does not want unification. This benefits him. He's trying to play chess right now, but he's He's scrambling like eggs on a Sunday morning, man. He don't know what to do with himself. He doesn't know what to do with himself. AJ doesn't know what to do with himself. He's trying to get the clap back, but you know, he needs to go talk to some veterans. He should not take this rematch right now, because it's going to be the end of him. All right, what he, you know, people, you know, in old media, they're running around talking about, oh, this is a big upset. This is what you call it? This is Hakeem Rahman and Lennox Lewis and Hakeem Rahman and Oliver McCall. Let me explain something to you. When Lennox Lewis lost, he lost by one shot. Okay, he didn't take Hakeem Rahman seriously. He was filming Ocean's 11, and ironically, the fight that was being talked about back then was Vladimir Klitschko versus Lennox. And in Ocean's 11, that was the fight happening in the movie. That's just a little nerd fact right there. So he was out there filming that movie, got to Africa late, and he got starched. And that's fine, because we knew that was a fluke, and we saw what happened in the rematch. And he knocked him out so bad, everyone was like, we don't need to see a third. Because that was supposed to happen. Okay? Prior to that, Oliver McCall. Go back and watch the fight. It's on YouTube. He hit him with something he ain't see. He came back a couple of years later and he got it right. All right? AJ got mauled, dropped 4 times. 4 times. All right? Take it a step back. We've been hearing rumors about this guy getting dropped all over the damn place. David Price dropped him in sparring. When I heard that, I said, whoa. Now, people they took the social media. Oh, he's a hater. He's a hater. He has a glass chin. But wait a minute. I don't recall AJ saying that never happened. I don't recall him saying that never happened. All right. So we've been hearing things about this guy getting beat up in sparring for years. He's a marketing scheme. And to call him Frank Bruno 2.0 is disrespect to Frank Bruno, because at least we can say Frank Bruno not only A, fought in America, but B, he lost to legends. And this is no disrespect to Andy Ruiz, but he's not a Mike Tyson, okay? And he's not a Lennox Lewis. So Frank Bruno's Frank Bruno. AJ is AJ. All right, this is ridiculous. So what I want to see with the division is unification, but it's going to be difficult with Eddie Hearn, you know, behind the scenes, you're pulling these games. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. He's going to try and get him stripped for the sole purpose of business. And that's where we fall short. That's where we fall short, man. So I'm tired of this blaming Deontay. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. The AJ fans, take your L and eat it. Your tears taste good to me. I'm not going to stop trolling you. It's going to be a long, long, long summer for you guys. 2 years I had to listen to your crap. All right? I'm on Instagram and I got complete strangers. All right? Okay, everyone saw the video with him shooting hoops in New York City. All right, first of all, he's still here because he can't fly because of his concussion. Let's get that out the way. He can't go up in the air, so he's here. So he's walking around. He's shooting basketball at the. First of all, he's 6'5", 6'6". He ain't got a jump shot for crap. As a black man, that's a crime. All right, so let's start there. All right, he's shooting the ball. It's bouncing off the top of the dam. I said, shit, he was really concussed. But anyway, where he was called the Village, West 4th basketball courts. That's called the Village in New York City. That's a that's a high gay community population down there, for those that don't know. So all of those jokes about, you know, us calling him a homosexual, it just so happens he does a live on Instagram and not only gets put on blast by a New Yorker, but he's in the Village. I said, why is this man in the Village? You know, with all those flags flying around there. See, that's what you don't see. He ain't go uptown to Harlem and shoot some ball. But, you know, listen, man, I got jokes on this guy. It's going to be a long summer for you guys. I'm going to crush this guy. And y'all going to have to take this. For 2 years, I have to listen to y'all crap. And he gets washed by Fluffy. He got washed. All right? And understand this. All Eddie Hearn is going to do is play games with y'all. He's going to try and get Ruiz stripped and try and take him to court. And listen, Ruiz doesn't need to go to the UK to fight this guy. LA or Texas somewhere, or bring it back to New York. All right, but he don't need to go to the UK. He don't need to go to the UK. So take this L and love it. Love it.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, man, that is funny. Oh, by the way, God dog, man, I lost. You mentioned something. Oh, yeah. You know, by the way, Klitschko, when these guys talked about, this is something 78 Sports TV clarified for me, that when a lot of these AJ fans, when they talk about how Shelly Finkel said that he didn't want Wilder to fight Klitschko, don't realize that that Shelly Finkel was Klitschko's manager. So it wasn't just it wasn't really Deontay Wilder's manager that was saying that he didn't want Deontay Wilder fighting Klitschko. It was Klitschko's manager, because Klitschko was the big money maker, and he was the money maker in the division at the time. So Shelly Finkel, who had Deontay Wilder and also had Vladimir Klitschko, didn't want that fight to be made. So it's like, that's kind of like, you get the point, man. So people always act like that's Shelly Finkel, like Shelly Finkel only represented Deontay Wilder when he represented Vladimir Klitschko.
It was a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a conflict of interest in this extent. You're not acknowledging, because I mean, if they want to make the fight, he can make the fight, right? But it's not acknowledging the interest that Shelly Finkel had in not wanting to make the fight, right? Because they're just acting as if it's Deontay Wilder. Shelly Finkel's speaking for Deontay Wilder when he's speaking for Vladimir Klitschko too. The Patrick Scott said, Fanon, just jumping in the chat, Sunday sermon. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the chat as usual. But you guys, I agree 100% with you, Drew. They got to sit, man. You got to sit on that L. You got to sit on that L because they talk so much for so long. Man, I would be getting up, because in my channel, I really like to talk. I really like to read the comment section. And I'm going to, after this, I'm going to go through some of the comments in the comment section. I love responding with subscribers that are on the comment section, man. And I would have say there's 5,000 people watch the video and there's 400 comments, right? There might be 300 likes, 90 dislikes on an AJ comment, but there would be 300 comments from cats that were AJ fans. And I think a large amount of those cats were some marketing people from AJ. AJ has got to go down, in my mind, as one of the most over-marketed and just clearly basic attempt to sucker people into believing that he was the real deal without him actually being that. So as far as hype jobs go, that's my next question. And I'm going to go to Kqkc first on that. I think who did I give the last two questions to first? I think I gave Blood the last question. So I'm going to go to Kqkc with the next question. But let me get a couple chats. Two Robinson said it's going to be a long summer, dog. It's going to be a real long winter. It's going to be a long summer. It's going to be a long winter. Dude, he ain't got no business going back into that fight. And Drew Titan mentioned something, very good observation from Drew Titan, when Drew said about Lennox Lewis and Oliver McCall. You realize that Oliver McCall, and that rematch wasn't immediate. He got knocked out by Oliver McCall. He took several years to rematch Oliver McCall. He didn't go right back in there on the first time that he had been knocked out. Same thing for Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko didn't jump right back in with Ross Purity. He never rematched Corey Sanders. The only time that dude rematched, these guys were rematching people who knocked them out, were later in their career, when they only had a few fights left. When he rematched, when Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Asim Rahman, he lost to Asim Rahman, then he beat Asim Rahman, then he beat, I think the next fight might have been Mike. It was either somebody else, then Mike Tyson, then Vitaly Klitschko, and he was done. When these guys rematch these guys quickly after they had already changed trainers, they'd already fixed their problems, and they knew how to deal with it. But anyway, 300 people watching. Y'all smash that like button. Appreciate it. We got 300 people in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the like button if you don't mind, and subscribe to these cats channels on here, man. For 9, hold on one second. Somebody said I can't post. Oh, we got another super. Dale McCree said we at the black community should never bash that ignorance. Oh, bash ignorance is bliss. We at the black community should never bash them. Ignorance is a bliss. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I mean, as far as doing that, dude, I don't really do it like that. A lot of that. I mean, look, AJ can be what AJ wants to be. The dude got no chin. Okay. Well, there's a bunch of real hardcore dudes that they like dudes, you know. But AJ is just a fraud. So I understand what he meant by that. I'm just not saying it because it's YouTube. YouTube gets funny. His problem ain't that he likes men. The problem is that they ain't got a chin, and that he didn't get developed. Because I have a suspicion, dude, that the dude would be better if he would have taken longer. And this is a segue into this hype job stuff. People talk about how fast Anthony Joshua got to where Anthony Joshua is, as if that means that you're going to that's like the myth of continual development. That because you got somewhere so quick that you're going to continue to go at that path. Obviously that's not the case, right? Deontay Wilder is 40-0, and he didn't have the belts that AJ had when he had 22 fights, but he also didn't get knocked out in his 23rd or 24th fight. More fights is more fights. More times in the ring means more looks that you get to see. More times you have more opportunities to get knocked out. More opportunities to get clipped. And I think when a guy defends a major belt 9 times, that should tell you something. The last 9 times that this dude fought, or last 10 times this dude fought, the belt was on the line. This will be the 11th time in a row this guy's going to be fighting with the belt on the line, where somebody's getting in there that has done enough to earn a shot at a world championship, and somebody that is not going to be somebody that's coming into train focused, somebody that Deontay that knows and is going to prepare for Deontay Wilder, knows what he's doing. The more time somebody sees you, the more vulnerable you become. And that's just how it is. Even Lomachenko, the official name of Lomachenko, we got to take all the O's out of Lomachenko. Lomachenko, same situation, dog. He's not going to get to 30 fights, man. It's been rougher and rougher and rougher on him since he got to 135. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that people have seen him fight a lot of times now. So anyway, man, I want to go to Kqkc, man. Give me your top 3 hype jobs in the history of boxing. And where do you rank Anthony Joshua in your list of hype jobs? And let me define hype job. A hype job is not somebody just garbage, but a hype job is somebody that's sold to you as being the best fighter from the time the cat basically turns pro, and then winds up being shown that it's not the case. You can be a good fighter, but still be a hype job. I'm not saying who turned out to be complete bums. You know what I mean? Mm. Go ahead, yeah. Kqkc.
Okay, well, I look at Kovalev. He was hyped pretty much. He's a good fighter. I'm not taking that from him, but he's not that good of a fighter. Andre Ward showed that. HBO showed that he was a hype job. And that I can say, Kovalev. Now, Anthony Joshua. Yes, he's a hype job. He's a good fighter. In the Olympics, no problem. But now he's reverting to this, or he let his team revert him into this scientific way of working out. Besides getting in there, punch a speed bag. Now they're trying to test his endurance, test his blood, test how hard he hit, test his brain waves when he do hit, test his foot move. Something like Greco and Rocky, doing all that. When you need to get your lazy tail in the gym and do what you're supposed to do. Do like other fighters do. Chop some wood or some shit. Roll some tires or some shit. I don't know. But, that's a hype job. they made him out with only 22 fights, the best in boxing. You know, I think somebody said he was better. No, that was Lomachenko. Okay, I'm getting to his little ass. But Anthony Joshua is not that guy like everyone thought he was. He's not a hard puncher, and he's slow as hell with his punches. So that's a hype job right there. Then you got Lomachenko. Okay, yes, he is great. Yes, he does have good footwork, but the wear and tear is tearing him up. I mean, you're talking about over 400 something amateur fights. Then he had a little small career after that over there. Then he come over here and have another career. I mean, then Bob Arum treat him like he's king of the castle. He's better than Muhammad Ali. You know, Terrence Crawford didn't never get no promotion. Never, never, never. Earl Spence said, I didn't even know he was fighting Saturday. You know, so and then Bob Arum do a commercial, Q&A, and he got Lomachenko, and he talked about Lomachenko more than Terrence Crawford. I mean, what kind of stuff is that? You know, I mean, come on. And that's a high job. Because Pedraza showed everyone that, hey, he is beatable. He is. And he's not that special. All he does is step around. All he does is use his angles. They teach that in the amateurs. That's all. It's just some are faster than others. That's it. He's smaller. It's a smaller weight class. So, of course, your speed will be, you know, amplified. So that's my three right there.
Can you forget who are they again?
Okay, it was Kovalev, it was Anthony Joshua, and it was Lomachenko.
Okay. All right. Drew, 3 biggest hype jobs.
All right, mine's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna start from the bottom and go up. Number 3, he ain't never amount to nothing, but does anybody remember a fella by the name of Baby Joe Messi?
I was gonna say
Heavyweight.
Yeah,
my man, dog. You
Yup.
took one of my fighters.
That man said Baby Joe Mesa. Yeah, he got
Yo.
it correct.
Yeah,
that guy. Oh my God, HBO tried to get behind this guy.
right.
You know, he looked like that. I don't know. I don't know whether he was Italian or not, but he had this rough and rugged. I call it a Brooklyn look, a Brooklyn Italian look. And he was stocky, looked like a running back. He had the gift of gab. You know, I remember one fight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you the exact fight. He had a fight with DeVal Williamson, and he offed him in the first round. But the intro was ridiculous. He came out, they had a big old banner, looked like something out of a Rocky movie. It was crazy. And I'm watching this guy. I said, this dude is trash. And lo and behold, he ran into Vasily Jurov, and he had Jurov down early in the fight. And Jurov, you know, he's a tough European dude. He came back and he started whooping on Baby's ass and dropped him. I think it was only a 10-round fight, but he did enough. Macy did enough to win the fight. But after that fight, the division were like, they were like, yo, this guy's food. And you knew if you put this guy in any of the ranked guy with ranked guys, he was gonna get killed. Unfortunately, I don't know which fight it was, but he ended up having, you know, blood on his brain, and he had to retire. You know, so that was the end of him. You know, I'm glad he got out the game before something serious happened. I hope he made some money. And you know, that's hype job number 3. Hype job number 2, I'm gonna have to go with Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin, you know, there's something about, you know, these European guys. They come over here, and the best marketing tool they have for these guys towards us, the Americans, is 2,000 amateur fights. Well, you know, what are you doing 2,000 amateur fights and you're in your early 30s, you're fighting 17-year-olds, man. Of course you're going to knock them around. Come on now, if I get beat up right now by a 17-year-old, that 17-year-old better be special. That better be the next Mike Tyson. I mean, come on. You staying over there. What you staying over there fighting 2,000 amateur fights for, man? Come on, man. And don't they pay for those kids over there? Like when they're fighting over there, they pay for them, right? So come on, it's not like over here. Come on, man. All right, so Triple G, I was riding with him for a minute, and I was like, let me see what this guy's about. All right, he has good power. Let's see what he's about. And then the media, like they do, they swoop in, and then I'm gonna tell you the exact moment when they turned me off. When they said this guy's better than Marvin Hagler. I almost put my Timberland through the screen. You got to be kidding me. Better than Marvin Hagler? Better than Ray Robinson? Shut up. Just shut up. All right. So I can go on and on about Golovkin, but I won't. All right. Oh, yeah. Right. I know he's not with Abel Sanchez anymore, but black fighters don't sell. Who'd he fight last night? I'll rest my case. Anyway. And the number one got to be AJ because he's the one that generated the most money off of a lie. It got to be AJ, just off of default. We like to talk about money. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about how this man generates all of this money, according to his fans, $30 million a fight, which isn't true. All right, but this guy sells all these seats, sells out Wembley to come over here and get knocked out by a real heavyweight that didn't look anything of the part. It's going to be a long summer for you guys, but AJ is the number one. He just took the crown as the number one hype job in boxing history. Guys, he cannot leave the country because he cannot fly. He's not cleared to fly because Fluffy put those hands on him. So yes, he's a millionaire. Yes, I'm happy he's made money. I'm happy for the brother, but you're going to get this work. Number one hype job in the history of the sport. Gotta be Anthony Joshua. That's it.
Wow. Number one, AJ. Blood. Top three. Hype job.
Okay, well, first of all, to be a hype job in boxing,
we'll give you four. We'll give you four because he stole Baby Joe Mesa.
Okay, no problem. Anyways, in boxing, you need two things to be a hype job. First of all, you need the hype behind you. Usually, the people who end up being hype jobs is anybody that the media promoted during the time where they wanted the black heavyweight champion. He had several hype jobs, okay? Another factor that's needed is that hype job, it has to be confirmed that he's a hype job through a loss or through something like that, okay? Now, I have several hype jobs. I'm going to just run them off real quick. I'm going to take more than four, but I'm going to take too much time, okay? Amir Khan was a hype job. Golovkin was a hype job. Adrian Broner was a hype job. I used to go watch Jeff Lacey, a fighter named Jeff Left Hook Lacey. I used to go watch all his live fights. He ended up being a hype job, okay? There's another heavyweight that had a following behind him. They were building him up big time. His name was Michael Grant. He was also a hype job. There was a guy, a light heavyweight named Don Lalonde, the Golden Boy. I don't know if you guys remember Don Lalonde. Don Lalonde was a big fucking hype job, okay? And then, like I said before, there was a time period where they really wanted a white heavyweight champion. I'm just keeping it real. It is a racially motivated sport. Jerry Cooney was a hype job because I was alive during the time. They tried to present it as the next Rocky Marciano and all of that stuff. He was a good fighter. Now, good fighter and hype job, hype job does not equate to bad fighter. Cooney was a good fighter, but he was overhyped. They tried to say he was better than Larry Holmes and all of these. They were going back as far as history began in boxing, saying he was one of the best. Okay, then there was Joe Macy, who's another great white hope. All right, Tommy Morrison was another great white hope. They built him up. They were trying to compare him to Mike Tyson. He used to come into the ring with the towel and moving his neck, trying to look like Mike Tyson. He ran in there against Ray Mercer because you have to be exposed to be solidified as a hype job. You have to be exposed, all right? In my opinion, Lomachenko hasn't been exposed enough yet, so it's still TBD on him to be determined, okay? He has not been exposed enough. I do believe he's a hype job, but it hasn't been solidified yet. Jimmy Thunder was another hype job. There was this big, muscular kind of guy that was different. usually hype jobs come around a machine that they're trying, an agenda that's trying to be pushed. Okay, that's usually where hype jobs come from. But there's been several out there. But Anthony Joshua, by far, is number one. He has taken the cake. Anthony Joshua is the biggest hype job of all times. That's what I gotta say.
So what's your three? You got to give me your top three, dog. You ain't no ducking around here, man. We put you on the stand. Number one is AJ. Who's number two?
Number two would be Jerry Cooney, because he was hyped up big time on the HBO platform and on CBS and all the news networks. And number three would be, number three, I'll have to give it a tie between all of those guys I listed. You have guys like Joe Macy, Jeff Left Hook Lacey, Adrian Broner, Amir Khan, Gennady Golovkin, guys like that. But number one is Anthony Joshua. Number two to me is Jerry Cooney, because they built Jerry Cooney real hard. There was a big hype machine behind him. So I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, my number one is Primo Carnera. My number two is Anthony Joshua. And my number three is Prince Nassim Ahmed. Primo Carnera was complete and utter fraud and got his hands on a belt and then got busted out. So they have whole movies about that hype job. Anthony Joshua has not had a chance to come back. I think that if he gets knocked out again, then he will be very, very high. He could surpass Primo Carnera. And then Prince Nassim Ahmed, because he got just absolutely whooped. First of all, he skimmed out of a fight with by the hair of his chin out of that fight with Kevin Kelly. And then he gets in there with Marco Antonio Barrera, who I think is a good fighter, but is not, him, El Terrible. I mean, those guys were very, very solid fighters, lower echelon Hall of Fame type fighters, but he got beat so bad that he never came back and he quit. He made his and he never fought again. So he got his ass beat out of boxing. So those are my three top hype jobs. But AJ really, I just think, man, AJ just might have the stupidest fans ever. Like, that's my next question, because God dog, man, I think AJ just got the stupidest fans ever. Because he's got more casual, because if he's got more, like, he never made it to the United States. That's why I can't really put him as a bigger hype job than, say, Primo Carnera, because he never got hyped in America. He's like a domestic level fighter that was going to be sold over here, right? So if you say, like, God dog, who got like a big money pay-per-view style like hype job? Like Gennady Golovkin. But according to, I agree with Blood's definition of that, because he's not really got whooped like, he ain't got whooped like, he's going to get whooped if he fights David Benavidez. He just lost to Canelo Alvarez, and he ain't never really fought anybody, and he had a bunch of people giving him honors that he didn't deserve, like that whole 20 title defenses at middleweight where they just all of a sudden decide to count a secondary belt for 11 defenses. Like, they really did hype that dude. But the only thing for me, as far as AJ goes, is that he never made it. I mean, he flopped in his debut. You know what I mean? Like, he might have the biggest flop. He was the biggest flop ever. I don't think I've ever remembered somebody flopping on that big a stage, right? Even though, maybe there were 5,000, 10,000 people watching on DAZN, but there are people all over the world. He had the attention of the boxing fans and seeing what it was going to be. He's on his way to a fight with Deontay Wilder for unification. His fans been talking all that shit, and he just fell off the top of a mountain face first and went splat. So that might just be the biggest flop of all time. But I don't know if because he really wasn't that hyped. Like in America, he's hyped in the UK. Like, they were really big on him. But here, I still have to say Now, I guess, yeah, they were going to try to hype him, dog, but I just don't think they ever really got to do it. And if he comes back again and he's going to lose something fierce too, dog. He's going to lose something fierce. Oh, Ricky Hatton was a hype job. See, Ricky Hatton might have been actually be a bigger hype job in the United States because he got a couple fights. Him and Costa Zoo. Costa Zoo was like that too. Because he beat Costa. Where was he when he beat Costa Zoo? Because they were trying to run Costa Zoo up a pole too. Dumbass fan base solidifies a hype job. Yeah, well, then if that's the case, blood, then yeah, no doubt about it. Because he dang sure got a dumb hype. The dumbest core fan base in the history of boxing, dog. Because even Manny Pacquiao's core fan base wasn't as stupid as them. I mean, they just believe some shit that's just in your face. Come on, man. Just get out of here. Let me get through some of these chats real quick. Oh, as far as check out my GGG reaction video dump, family. We don't do that, dog. Don't do that, please. Eric Morales wasn't a hype job. Eric Morales could fight, man. Oh, stay ready boxing. Oh, let me do the super chats. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to do. I lost my train of thought. Dale. Prince Nassim Ahmed, yeah, man. Prince Nassim Ahmed, I got him on that. We in the black community should never bash. Ignorance is bliss. Let me tell you, man. I don't think people should really be too hard on that subject in the black community because quiet as kept, man. We don't really have a lot of that bashing in our community, man. I've never really noticed where people who are of that persuasion or had that particular fetish, whatever it is, have really gotten a lot of heat in the black American community. You don't see a lot of people getting beat up just for that and all that. But man, if somebody wants to say something, I mean, come on, man. It's a boxing channel, man. You ain't gonna change people's personalities by preaching at them. I never do that though, just so you know. I might just play around a little bit and call you a little girly man and all that, but I don't go too hardcore, man. We all got members of our family that participate in the things that they participate in, man. And if you participate in that, man, hey, man, more power to you. Just don't come around me with it. The only issue that I got, and I mean, don't come around with me as in like inviting me, because we get a lot of cats on this channel that really do hit on you, especially AJ fans. Is that guy really black? I don't know, man. Generally speaking, cats leave stuff alone, man. The Diesel, I want to hear, are y'all top 3 fighters with the most heart? Oh yeah, that's cool. Let's start with but just for real, man. All that toxic masculinity and all that stuff, man. Black folk go to you go to any black church, half the choir is like that. People know who are like that, man, and they pretty much leave people alone. Just talk is one thing, man. But as much as people talk about black people all together, just, come on, man. Give me a break, man. And get off your soapbox on the channel. If you don't want people to mention their joke and stuff like that, then just don't come around, man. I don't go to people's channels that disrespect black people, black men. And you do it all the time. That was half the crap. That's half of AJ. I would wager that's 90% of AJ's fan base. And 100% of it in the United States, from black people and from non-black people. They wearing cat suits under the choir gown. Yeah, man, I can't help the jokes. All right, man. So yeah, let me give that to Drew. You can start with that, man. Who are your top 3 fighters with heart?
Top 3 fighters with heart. Well, before I get into that, the person that put that ignorance is bliss. Yo, shut up, man. Shut up. This is a roast. Get out your feelings, man. Word up, man. Do you have that same energy when people were calling Deontay gay? Was you on that channel talking about, yo, ignorance is bliss, black people? Don't compare the black struggle to the homosexual struggle. Stop. I'm not even gonna get off your soapbox, man. I'm not even gonna go there because this conversation is gonna go left. And this might be the same guy that tried to get at me on Instagram. If it's you claim you live in NYC. I'm in the Bronx. If you want to have a conversation, hit me up. But for now, shut up. This is a roast. AJ lost, we giving him that body bag. Shut up. Anyway, top 3 fighters with Hart. Wow. There's a few, man. Barrera and Morales. Can they both take the number 3 slot? My goodness.
Oh yeah, you can do ties. Hey, since Blood don't care about the rules, let's all have at it.
All right, so I'm gonna put Barrera and Morales in one. Wow. I don't know. This is like a popular pick. You know, Muhammad Ali got all the heart in the world. I mean, he fought in what 3 different decades, and my goodness, man. Remember when he ate that left hook and got up off the floor? And I'm not talking about Joe Frazier. That was why am I having a brain fart right now? Oh my gosh.
Favors?
Yes. My goodness. There's a bunch of times I've seen him take clean shots and he just refused to fall. So we can give it to Ali.
You talking about Henry Cooper?
Henry Cooper.
Y'all say that?
It was Henry Cooper, the one that knocked him down?
Knocked him down.
Oh, yeah, that's Henry Cooper.
Yeah, the Henry Cooper. Henry Cooper knocked him down. But he had no business standing up against Shavers. I don't know how he remained on his feet. That was ridiculous. So, wow. All right. Oh, man. Man. All right, since we're going by blood rules, we can say Gaddy. we gotta say Gaddy. We talking about Hart. I mean, they call him the Blood and Guts Warrior, but that was true. I mean, HBO got that right, man. The man had heart. You know, if they didn't stop if Buddy McGurk didn't stop that fight against Shavers, I think he'd have went a few more rounds looking like a punching bag and without a problem.
Who was this?
Toro Gaddy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And my number 1 spot gotta be Larry Holmes. Can anyone explain to me what got him off that mat when Shavers caught him clean? Ernie Shavers caught him clean and he got up. I mean, what the hell? I remember my uncles and my dad watched that fight, and when he got hit, he fell. My father said, "Oh man, it's over," because my father's like that Larry Holmes is his favorite fighter of all time. And he said, "Oh man," he put his head in his hands, and I'm standing in the living room. And then they said, "Junior, he getting up." He said, "Come on, Larry." And Larry got up. I said, "Oh, crap. He got up off the floor." That was crazy. And Ernie Shavers, hands down, one of the hardest punches in the universe. How did Larry get up? I will never, ever know. And for those young bucks that don't know what I'm talking about, it's on YouTube. The first fight. Holy cow, how did Larry get up? So I'm going to go with Larry as number 1.
Blood?
Okay, I'm going to go with Ali for number 1. The rope-a-dope, the guy who would just sit there and let people pound him, beat him up against the ropes. The 70s version of Ali, number 1. Number 2, Larry Holmes. I agree with the brother, Larry Holmes, man. This guy would get up. A true champion is a guy who gets up, a guy who could weather the storm. So Larry Holmes. And then number 3 is another heavyweight, Evander Holyfield would be number 3 for me. There you go.
Somebody said Holyfield was on the juice, man. Look, man, we ain't put nobody on the juice that retired, and we ain't got no proof. Kqkc, most heart, 3, top 3, most heart.
Okay, I'm gonna come on in a little bit, but shoot, I really got I'm gonna start from the bottom. Turi Gotti and Mickey Ward. Both of those guys. I know they fought 3 times, but they both had heart. They fought wars. I mean, they was in there. And after that, I got Diego Corrales. Corrales and Castillo, they had one of the Corrales get knocked down one time, get up, get knocked down again, get up, got one eye closed, get up, and still, and he won the fight. You know. Then I have to say, Josito Lopez. You know, he's a young guy, I understand, but he has heart. It doesn't matter if he has his eye closed too. He's still gonna say, "Come on, let's get it." But could nobody ever do it but the greatest, Muhammad Ali. He would sit there on the ropes, let him pound on him for round after round after round after round. Then he get up and go ahead and go for it. Then that's guts. That's guts. That's taking the pain to get the win. So that's guts. So that's what I got.
All right, man. I got my 3. I would say Ali number 1. Number 2 is gonna be off, man. But I think Tommy Hearns has some of the best heart, man. Because God dog, man, that dude he had a suspect chin, man, but it didn't even care, man. That dude would still come at you, man. It was a war when he fought. The fact that first, what was it? How was that 1 or 2 rounds with Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and then coming back to fight Sugar Ray Leonard after he got dropped off before that? I think Tommy Hearns didn't have the chin, man, but that dude definitely had the heart and the power. And then number 3, geez, man, maybe this is gonna sound crazy, man, but I really respected a different type of heart, but I really respected Floyd Patterson, because Floyd Patterson, like, there's one thing, man, to have heart when you get in the ring, but when you know you don't have to fight somebody and you about to get killed and you still go in there and you do it twice, like he did with Sonny Liston, and how he got knocked out by Ingo Yilmar Hansen, came back and fought Ingo Yilmar Hansen again, and the way that he took that punishment from Ali and never quit, man, Floyd Patterson, man, is one of my favorite personalities because he overcame a lot of stuff, man. That dude was real shy, and he just wasn't one of the best fighters. And he was coming up he came up in a time when he was fighting some real killers and never ducked him. So I'll go, man. Victor Ortiz is a punk, man. Checkmate boxing. Victor Ortiz is a punk, man. Victor Ortiz, that should be who the biggest punks are. We can go with that next. Layla D wanted to know from Blood if you watched the Ali What's My Name documentary yet. Blood, you there?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I don't miss nothing from Ali, okay? I've seen every interview and every documentary on Ali ever. So yes, I've seen it.
Did you like it?
Yes, I like it, but the best documentary is going to be, in retrospect, Ali, when I do the documentary.
Yeah, man, I got to make a mission. I didn't watch it because I refuse to watch it. I refuse to watch it because it's HBO, and the job that HBO be doing on black people, man, I can't do it because it's like every time I listen to some documentary or somebody talk about Ali, like when that dude, what's the name of that dude? Granderson. Now you don't want me to make fun of people that like men. I'll try my best when I'm talking about LC Granderson. Okay. But LC Granderson is his tennis. Basically, I don't even know how the hell this dude gets a job. He sucked at covering tennis because people might not know I'm a big fan of tennis. And I know my tennis. This dude be talking about tennis, don't know what he's talking about. Somehow he got that job, but he's on the Zone doing this terrible ass job in the middle of the Zone broadcast. And on Memorial Day, he starts talking about Ali on Memorial Day, saying how he was such a great patriot because he refused to go to Vietnam. I'm like, hold on, man, stop trying to take what Ali in the 60s was talking about and handed it to everybody. That's not the case. That's just because a bunch of hippie kids jumped on the bandwagon. It was like, yeah, he was about black people. That dude was in the nation. That dude was in the Nation of Islam, man. He was talking about his love and appreciation and his respect for black people. That's what he was on. And then you guys keep trying to turn this dude into some international right bearer for you. No, dude, no. He wasn't trying to make sure everybody could carry rainbow flags and trying to make sure, that old blind men and old blind comedians get 70 years in jail for feeling up some chick 40 years before and slashing the Ali /Me Too movement. Man, he wasn't about all that. In his funeral, they fucking hijacked the funeral. What made Ali great and what had got Ali over the hump was black people's support for Ali. That's what got him over the hump. That's what sustained him. That's what got him. That's what made him not be a victim of the boxing mafia, because black people supported him. And just like, man, don't stop trying to like appropriate our icons. So it's like, man, I'm not doing that, man. They turn everybody into some soft ass conformist crap. And then if you can't get the guy to represent you in life, you change what he was about and what he said in death. And it's disgusting. So no, I didn't watch that documentary because they did Michael Jackson crazy. I was like, man, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not doing that. They put that dude on trial again. They trying to ruin that cat's name off some stuff where the people in it are straight up and down perjurers. Even if they're telling the truth, even if they, at some point in time, they were lying. They were either lying now or they were lying before, but at some point in time, they were lying. And HBO uses that stuff, uses the names of famous black people to do all kind of social molding, and I ain't down with that. And that's why I refuse to watch anything that anybody puts up about Ali until Blood Boxing does his Ali documentary. Because I'm just not doing that, man. That's not what he was about, man. Muhammad Ali, the entire time that he was doing the stuff he was doing, he talked about black people. He didn't talk, even the stuff that people they do with Malcolm X, acting as if Malcolm X, after Malcolm X separated from the Nation of Islam, that all of a sudden he just turned into like, oh no, I don't believe anything that I said before. No, dude, that's not what he was, dog. That's not what he said. That's not what he did. But go ahead and kidnap somebody else, man. I'm not supporting that nonsense, man. And it might have been a very good documentary, but there's literally nothing that they can tell me new about Ali other than to show me some footage or something that they came with, before, that I didn't see, that they new release footage or something. Same with Mandela. Yeah, same with Mandela. Same with all that stuff, man. If you can't get you in life, they get you in death. Ali is ours. He don't belong to you. Pretty much. That's how I feel about it. Because that's why I think that Ali has the most heart too. Because if you compare like the mentality of a Muhammad Ali to an Anthony Joshua, there ain't no way, shape, or form that Muhammad Ali is going to let Eddie Hearn do his talking. That he's going to let Eddie Hearn. Now he might let Eddie Hearn steal his money because he didn't know how to keep that, because he didn't know how to keep his money in house. That might have been an issue, but he ain't gonna let him be dictating what he's gonna do, who he's gonna fight. He's not gonna fight, all that crap, dog. They wasn't gonna do all that. And AJ is just a simpleton. And that's why I mean, doggone, man, you ain't got to be highly educated, formally educated, not to be a simpleton. God dog, man, you see all these dudes making these moves in the United States. The money's in the United States, and you decide to sign up for this dude. You decide, man, anyway, man, he deserves what he gets. Sorry, I digressed. Next 3 superstar boxers in the future. Okay, Carl, look, man, that's a hard question for me to ask because I think people need to earn their superstardom. The next superstar in boxing is going to be the guy that fights the best fighters and comes out on top of it and proves he's the absolute best. And then he can get all these dudes hating on him instead of trying to build him up. But I'll ask that question. I'll start off with Drew. Who do you think has the potential to be the next super? Let me cut it down to 1. Who do you think really has the opportunity to be the next big superstar in boxing? And what does he or she need to do to achieve that?
Well, I already think it's Deontay Wilder. I already think so. The heavyweight champion is the baddest man on the planet. And all Wilder has done is tried to fight the best. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what all the haters say. He's been calling everybody out from day one since 2014, 2015. So if he's not a superstar already, I think he's the next big thing. Now that AJ's gone, and trust me, fellas, he's gone. AJ's gone. So I'm gonna say Wilder. I mean, I believe he's the biggest rock star in boxing right now. But for the non-believers, just keep your eye on this thing, because right now the non-believers are hoping that Hearn is successful, taking all the stones out the Infinity Gauntlet. They're content with that. But right now, If you don't believe he isn't, I'm saying he's the next one. And prove me wrong. And they can't prove me wrong by way. The only way they can try and prove me wrong is by way of politics. So now when you're at the point, well, you could talk about the seat sales and money. And I heard one guy say that AJ made more in a loss than Wilder made against Brazil. Fine, whatever. You could say that. But AJ lost, though. And he made a lot of money to take a L. Remember, AJ can't take a plane because he had a concussion. He's still in my city somewhere. I might go down to the village and look for him because I'm petty like that. I'm not far from there. But anyway, I'm going to say it's Deontay Wilder, man. Behind him would be, the smaller weight classes. Errol is doing very, very well. Bud is doing very, very well. The smaller guys, shout out to the smaller guys. But, you want to go with the baddest man on the planet. We always talk about the heavyweight champion of the world. He's the guy. That's why we don't put heavyweights on pound for pound lists. Nobody was talking about money back in when Ali had a crap load of fans. Nobody was talking about who makes what and all of that stuff. That's conversations for the fighters and the managers and promoters to have. That's not our conversation. So, bottom line, I think Deontay Wilder whoops everybody's ass in boxing. All right? So, if you don't believe he's the star now, he's the next one. Prove me wrong. Because all he's done is try to prove he's the best. So, prove me wrong. Prove him wrong.
Yes, sir. Hey, we got a super. Let me get to the super chat before I pass that to my man, Kqkc. Power Move said Joe Frazier kept getting up against Foreman. Yeah, Joe Frazier got a lot of heart too. And that fight with Thriller Manila, man, that dude was going to die in that ring, man, if he didn't. I mean, he was. That's a cat that was really willing to go in a ring. And they were fighting outside in the Philippines and all that heat. That was no air-conditioned auditorium those dudes were fighting in. Starks W said, can you tell me why Tyson Fury didn't get an immediate rematch with Douglas? I was young at the time, and would he have won? I can't tell you why the rematch didn't happen. I know he went to jail. He took some more fights and then went to jail maybe like a year and a half later. But no, I don't think he would have beaten Buster Douglas in the second fight. Mike Tyson had his head wasn't on straight. But let me go. Give me Blood. What's your thoughts on that question? Blood, you in the comment section? Blood's in the comment section. Blood.
Okay, here, man. What's going on? What's the question on Tyson Douglas?
Yeah. Why did the rematch not happen right away, if you know? And also, do you think Mike Tyson would have won the immediate rematch?
Because in that rematch, I don't believe there was a rematch clause. I believe that Evander Holyfield was promised the winner of that fight, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and look, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Evander Holyfield was tied up. Was promised a shot at the winner.
Okay, and so yeah, we'll have to let that. We trust the on.
No, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Go ahead, Drew. Explain it.
No, that's what it was. He was promised to win because if you remember, he was in Japan. He was there ringside, and everyone expected Mike to win, but he was promised the winner. Douglas won. And I believe the next fight was Douglas versus Holyfield.
Yeah, that was Douglas's next fight for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Okay. The African Sci-Fi Scholar said, "Thank you for showing my support for you speaking the truth about Ali's legacy. They tried to do Winnie Mandela's funeral. A brother from the EFF was not having it. Check it out. Oh, I know what that's about, man. Yeah, I know that because that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Like they did, man. I'm telling you, man, I got less. I'm going off topic for a second. Look, you got to understand, man, with these cats, first of all, most of these Hollywood dudes, I got no time for them because they're frauds. Like they just go whatever way the wind blows. It's like they're just put up this, like they know they're on camera. So they're always trying to make the more the right political moves. So when you get somebody that won't do it, you get these guys who think that they are too big to be made to do that. then they get him in death. You guys, like Ali was just too big. He was too influential to get him to do what you wanted him to do. Number one, his personality wasn't like that. And number two, there's nothing else you could do. They already tried to get the dude and take his belts and do all that stuff to him. And he wound up going to the Supreme Court and winning in the Supreme Court and had all these other, like, you know, these hippie kids doing the same thing. And all of a sudden there ain't no draft. There's not been a draft since then. So you really couldn't get him like that. You know, he winds up not being able to talk for the majority of the rest of his life. And so he now becomes an ambassador for the thing that he stood against. Just the same way that happened to Michael Jackson, man. I watched what happened to Michael Jackson the whole time. And what people don't realize is that Michael Jackson and he was getting torn down from things from the time he was 14 years old. Or was he? How old was he? If I'm 9, that would put him somewhere around 19. Once he really got on the spotlight as being, you know, going around with the afros and like the whole disco movement started taking off, dude, they tried to take that dude down earlier, accusing his father of being they didn't accuse his father of being a pedophile. They accused his father of being a child abuser. So they went after the father first. They was all talking about all kind of steroids he was on and hormones to keep his voice high. And they were going after that dude for a very, very long time, dude, because Joe Jackson was always very, very independent and very protective of the business that he started, which is why they shifted from Motown over to Epic. But anyway, man, those cats be on these dudes. Anytime these cats stand up and act like they want to be independent people and take the ownership for their own things, they wind up getting torn down. And people can say, you know, it's a conspiracy theory if you want, but dude, there's a reason why people go to jail for conspiracies. It always gets me, man, how people say, oh, there's this, yo, don't want to hear your conspiracy theory. Dude, conspiracy theory, people go to jail every day for conspiracy. Conspiracy to commit theft, conspiracy to sell drugs, conspiracy to money launder. People get put in jail every day for conspiracy. How come it is that people go to jail for every day for conspiracy, and conspiracy is defined as 2 or more people having a plan? It just takes 2 people to talk to each other for there to be a conspiracy. And you're telling me that all this crap is happening on accident? I'm just supposed to be, oh yeah, get out of here, man. Sorry, man, but yeah, that's my thing, man. I really can't, and I don't know whether things are true or not true, but I know perfectly well that the best lies have a little bit of truth in them. Nobody's perfect, and you'll always be able to find something that somebody did that isn't right. And if you're a sneaky manipulative person with an agenda, you will take that little bit of truth and you will blow it up. Do you remember how many years it was that Jay Leno just every night Jay Leno's show was Wacko Jacko, Wacko Jacko, Wacko Jacko, Wacko Jacko, Wacko Jacko for years before any of that stuff popped up, man. And they're going to do that shit. Deontay Wilder, what you guys are doing to Deontay Wilder, it's the same tactic that Eddie Hearn is using on Deontay Wilder. Nobody knows Deontay Wilder. Nobody knows Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's never sold out. Deontay Wilder sold 6,000 seats this fight. Deontay Wilder sold 6,000 seats last fight. Deontay Wilder sold 6,000. Every fight, Deontay Wilder sells 6,000 tickets. How in the world does 1 million people watch every one of his fights, but nobody knows him? Because he's not the one that they want to sell. He's not the one that they want to sell. And since they don't want to sell him, you're never going to get the information that might make you want to buy. Because if you believe in him, then you don't believe in that. If you believe Deontay Wilder's the real deal and Deontay Wilder's really the God dog, Ring Magazine has Deontay Wilder as the number 2 heavyweight to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has not beaten a top 10 opponent in 4 years. The same people took Andre Ward out of their number 1 pound for pound list as soon as he said that he retired. But what was the excuse? Inactivity. And they didn't put him back. They didn't put him back until he beat Kovalev twice. He had to beat Kovalev twice to get back there. but you're gonna just give it to Tyson Fury because he got a draw? Because you think because you want people to buy him. This dude still bouncing around like a crackhead. Check out my Twitter. Look at all this. Do you see him dancing in his underwear with his shirt off, like hey, in his sunglasses and stuff? That dude's still on something. He's on something right now. Go look at my Twitter. The last couple Twitters I sent out of Tyson Fury with him dancing. Oh yeah. He's on like he's at a fucking rave or something. That dude out there, shout out to the cats that did the video. He's out there doing the same crap like, what was that? You remember that movie with Damon Wayans? Somebody did a video about this and showed the parallel. The Damon Wayans movie was like I think it was the Great White Hype, right? With Damon Wayans played the champion, and there was this, and Samuel L. Jackson was like this caricature of Don King, and it wound up being that they were building this fight up, and then Damon Wayans goes out and just knocks him out with one punch and walks off. And in this thing, the particular Hope said, I want to give all my money away. I want to give my purse away, to eradicate homelessness. And then what did Tyson Fury say about his $8 million purse that he got against Deontay Wilder? I'm going to give this away to the homeless people and to eradicate mental illness. He didn't get that money up, dog. He didn't give a damn dime to them people. Trying to hype you up, man. Anyway, I had to go in on that for a little while because it's ridiculous. And
hey, can I add something on to what you just said, man?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Take a second. The third video that I made on YouTube was in 2007. I remember it very well. It's still on my page. It's on private, but in 2007, Oscar De La Hoya bought the Ring magazine. I think I'm going to repost that video because I said it back then that when he bought the Ring magazine, it was not going to be the same. The minute Oscar De La Hoya as a promoter, it was towards the end of 2007. I know because I was just first getting on YouTube. I did a video about it. I told you guys that the Ring magazine was never going to be the same. I grew up on the Ring magazine. So Oscar De La Hoya not ranking Deontay Wilder as number one means nothing to me as a traditional hardcore fight fan who grew up buying the Ring magazine. Okay, when Oscar did that, he had ulterior motives as a promoter. Okay, so I'm just saying I don't know why people give the Ring magazine all this credit. Since 2007, it's not been the same. That's all I wanted to say.
Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely that. The same. Hey, Alvaro de Costa, man. Much love in that super chat, man. I don't know why I don't see $1. Oh, there I did. Oh man, you did it twice, man. I appreciate you. Alvaro de Costa, man. Much respect. Says salute. And Rick Samuel says salute to the OG Kings, man. Salute to you as well. And once again, my man Alvaro de Costa in the building. I don't have my gong with me today because I'm in a hotel room, and the gong don't travel. But look, man, we a little bit over our time, man. Let's have some. Let me check out a couple, see if there's anything in the questions anybody has in the comment section, and then we're gonna wrap it up, man, because I know there's other cats who want to get on. Oh, my first super chat and I messed it up. Oh, Alvaro de Costa. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Hey, though, if you did that on accident, I can refund it to you. It's not an issue. Just email me here. It's probably going to cost me more to refund it because it was a bug, but I don't ever want to take anybody's money that didn't mean to give it. So here you go. Just hit me up, man. We'll get that right. Objective Incision says, shout out to Dwyer Boxing. He called it before the fight. Let me tell you, man, I'm a big fan of Dwyer Boxing. But Dwyer, I like Dwyer Boxing because he's a gambling channel. He's not really a boxing channel. He's a gambling channel. And he talks about sports and gives you the odds and how to play the odds. But there's only one dude that I heard that really called it. The dude that really called that was Fred from Barbershop Conversations. He called that dead on the head. He's like, for 2 days before that, he was like, AJ getting knocked out tonight. AJ getting knocked out tonight. He was unequivocal about it. And boop, it happened. But Dwyer, I would take all Dwyer's money betting on boxing. Oh man, but but it's a great channel, man. I really do enjoy his approach, man, to his channel. Very good. Dope sold money fold. What's that? Ring Magazine is a fake publication. Garbage. Oh, DOG called it too. Yeah, there are people who called it. There are people who called it. I didn't call it. I said he has a chance. It's heavyweight boxing has a chance. But now I'm calling in. Man, it's a wrap on AJ, man. It's a wrap on AJ. But look, man, Drew, give me your final thoughts, man. Let people know how to get contact with you. I know you're going to start a channel soon. And you also, obviously, you act very active on Instagram. So let people know how to check you out, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Drew Titan. Thank you for having me on the panel. Fanon the Don, the LDBC's favorite uncle, Kqkc, and the godfather of this entire thing. You know, Blood, I've been following you since the YTBC. I've been quiet, but I've always been listening, brother. Always been listening, man. And I go back with this thing, you know, but I just started getting vocal recently because I didn't like the mess that was happening, man. So, you know, I appreciate you guys having me on the panel. A lot of people say I don't look my age, but I'm 43 years old. You know, I've been around a while, you know, love boxing and Bomb Squad all day, man. For all the non-believers, you're going to be believers, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. And that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Shout out to the LDBC, man. We're going to keep it pushing.
Kqkc?
Yes. But first of all, you can follow me at Kqkc Boxing. And again, I want to thank Fanon, Blood, Andrew, and everyone in the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Fanon, also for your support, for giving me over 1,000 subscribers. And I will be coming on in about 20 minutes. And with that, you all have a safe and happy Sunday.
Blood Boxing.
Hey, man, I'd like to thank my big brothers, Kqkc and Fanon and Drew, man. Hey, man, it's been an honor being on the panel with you for the second time. And I wanted to invite you to my show too, Drew, man. I'm gonna get your email, man, because I want to get some of that, some of them stories about Mitch Blood Green and chop it up with you some about old school boxing. So I will be reaching out to you, man, to be on my show too. And I'd like to appreciate everybody.
You got my email in the
Remember,
chat,
I have
Blood?
2 channels. I'm gonna get it. Okay, I know how to get you though. I know how to get in
No doubt,
contact
brother.
with you. I'm gonna get in contact with you, bro. And also, man, I just want to say I have 2 channels. If y'all want to hear me talk about modern day boxing, go to Blood Boxing Live. And then I have the documentary, which I'm trying to finish up the last touches on the heavyweight series. I'm getting ready to release that. Another Pernell Whitaker. All of this stuff will be out within the next week. All right, man. Y'all take it easy. Thanks a whole lot to the brothers who came through in the chat and to the brothers on the panel, man.
All right. Hey, man, 2 pieces of, first of all, we got Junior the Truth out there begging for attention. He said, y'all still refuse to give me my due. I called AJ Loss. Punch Junkie Morning Show, baby. Yeah, hey, by the way, man, everybody go to Junior the Truth right here. Junior the Truth got a really good show that comes on in the morning. I think around 7:30 Central, maybe 6:30 Eastern. Junior the Truth, man, put your stuff in the chat, man, because he's got a really, really good show that you can listen to when you drive in the morning. Very, very good show. He's also the moderator on Smoke City Mobcast, and and has access to all the LDBC apps. I think that the Smoke City Mobcast might be moving to the apps. So you can definitely check out Junior the Truth for that. And he said he called it. So I'll believe him, although I have no proof whatsoever. But, out of politeness and support of his channel, I'll believe that lie. B&B Boxing said, I called it. Fanon, give me my shine. Shine on. Shine on. There you go. That's your shine. And look, man, I meant to say, I forgot to answer the question myself. So let me hold myself accountable. I think that the guy with the best chance to be a superstar in boxing is probably Errol Spence. And the reason I say that is because there's not nearly the amount of, well, it's Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence. I'm going to break my own rule and say those two, because number one, they're both in the money weight classes. You got a money weight class in the heavyweights, but Deontay Wilder, I think, man, might be running out of people to knock out, because I think he's going to straight up just knock out Tyson Fury. The way that I see Tyson Fury dancing around, I think Tyson Fury's back on something. I don't think he's being true to his rehab. These cats are talking about how all the weights that he's lost, and I'm looking at him, dude, and he's still got those gigantic love handles. I mean, he looks the same. He looked the same as he did last fight. And Anthony Joshua's gone. Errol Spence Jr. has the ability to have 2 super fights. He's got a super fight that can happen with Terrence Crawford. He's got a super fight that can happen with Terrence Crawford, and he's got a super fight that can happen with Canelo Alvarez. And I think that those 2 fights right there really could skyrocket him. And I'm not really big, and he's letting a little more of his personality out. I would say Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford's with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum don't make superstars. Bob Arum makes money for Top Rank. His business isn't making you some major superstar, you know? And he doesn't believe in doing that for somebody like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, I think has all the talent in the world to do that. And he should be, because, man, he's one of the best fighters in the ring to watch. Exciting, all that. But I think Deontay Wilder has all crazy excitement, awesome personality, and, man, that dude is seriously shining. And then, Errol Spence Jr., man, because I think that kid, man, just the devastation, dog. Wow. Anyway, that's my take on it. But look, I appreciate everybody coming through. And definitely, subscribe to Blood Boxing and Blood Boxing Live, Kqkc Boxing. Please follow my man Drew Titan on Instagram. Callum Smith is overrated, man. Callum Smith about to get beat up by David Benavidez if they ever let him have that fight. Curtis Anderson, if Spence beats Crawford and Canelo, he'll be a superstar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has a path for that, because he's a big welterweight, so he has the ability to move up to 160 pounds. I think he really does have the ability to do that. But all right, man, with that, we out. We'll be back next Sunday, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that, we're out. Peace. Y'all on mute. Y'all got to say peace, man.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
See ya.